Okay everybody, let's talk about how we're going to start a art project that is just like the art that we saw from our artist Romeo Britto. First we need to talk about the difference between a line and a shape. We're going to be making some letters today that are shape letters, but we need to start with line letters. So let's talk about the difference here. If I'm going to make a line letter, for example a T, I would use my pencil to make two straight lines, 1, 2, that connect. See how these are just lines, they're not shapes? That is a line letter T. But what if I wanted to make a shape letter T? Here's the difference. A shape letter T has many straight lines that all connect together and start at one point and end at the last point, and they all come together to make a whole shape. This is something that I could cut out in the end. I couldn't really cut out a line in the end. So the difference between a line and a shape letter is what we want to focus on today. Now, how do I make a shape letter? Well, to make a shape letter, I'm just going to start with my pencil, and I'm just going to make a really light line letter. I'm not going to press very hard because I'm going to erase this later. Now I'm going to switch to my marker, and I am going to try and go around that line letter, and I'm not going to touch the line letter. I just want to make some straight lines that go all the way around the line letter. Now I've made a shape letter, but I really want to get rid of that line letter on the inside, so I'm just going to simply take my pencil and erase it. So I went from a skinny skeleton line letter to a nice thick shape letter. That's how I'm going to create my shape letters to make my Romeo Britto work of art today. So the first thing you're going to do when you get your white paper is think about, what do I want my word to be? I picked the word art, so what am I going to do first? I'm going to sketch out really lightly my skinny line letters. I'm not pressing very hard because remember, I want to erase these letters, but I am trying to make sure that I go from side to side and top and bottom, and I really fill up my paper with those line letters. Now once I've got it, I'm going to pick a marker color that I like, and I'm going to make some straight lines around the line letters, and on the inside, don't forget the inside, around the R, and I'm not going to touch the line letter, I'm just going to go around it, and the T, I'm going around the skinny line letter pencil. Okay, I've got my shape letters. Now it's time to erase my skinny line letters all the way so that I just have my shape letters. Okay, once I've erased all my line letters, then I can use my markers to make this kind of look like the artist that we saw, Romeo Britto. So what I did is I made many spaces in my background, that means the space around my letters, and inside my letters, I made some spaces by using some straight lines. So I'm just going to take the markers at my table, any colors I like, and I'm just going to kind of break up my space with lots of lines. I can use straight lines or wavy lines, zigzag lines, whatever I like. Remember how Romeo Britto had all those different spaces, and inside he had lots of different types of line and shape patterns? That's what I'm trying to create here. Once I've broken up my space, then I can go inside and make whatever line and shape patterns that I like. So maybe in this space I'll make a zigzag line pattern, and I'll really fill up my space here. Maybe in the next space I'll switch colors and I'll create a different type of line pattern. Maybe over here I can make a straight line or a crisscross line pattern. So what I'm really looking for, boys and girls, is you are showing me that you can turn a line into a shape letter and that you can use lots of different types of line patterns in your work of art. So I'm going to keep doing this in my background and inside of my shape letters to make lots of line and shape patterns. Now what else I can do after I've filled in some marker patterns, I can go back over with crayons or oil pastels and add some colors to the spaces around my line patterns. So if I took my crayons, this is called shading. I'm just going to press really lightly with my crayons, and I'm going to fill in this white space around my line pattern. And I'm not covering up my lines there because I'm pressing really lightly. I'm just shading. So I'm really just covering up the white space to give this work of art a lot more color, to make it a little more interesting. So I can do that for each of the spaces around here. I can use my yellow to shade in this space. And when I finish, my work of art is very nice and colorful, lots of line patterns, and I'm also using some shapes. Okay, so that is your goal today.